Hi, I'm Scott from South Florida Insider, and I'm here with
Jerry from Roach.
First off, coming kind of toward the end of this tour, how's it been going so far? Because I know right after this, you're jumping right into the studio, I heard.
We're going to take a month off. We've been on tour pretty much for 18 months on this tour, on this cycle. So we're going to at least get a little breather, take a month, and then get back together, start writing in Sacramento.
Have you already laid some of the tracks? Because I know the live album, you've released a couple of new songs. Are there going to be newer songs on the album, or is some of those going to jump onto the new album?
No, it's all going to be new stuff, and we have ideas and stuff, but we don't have anything really recorded yet.
And I heard something, I think it was yourself that mentioned, you guys are kind of feeling a little bit on the electronic side. You guys are always switching things up, it seems, album after album, kind of keeping everything fresh. Could you see kind of a continuation of that, or is it kind of a collaboration of different styles?
I don't know I don't know how it's going to manifest itself, but we're going to have some electronic stuff. It's not going to take away from the rock side of it. But I think the challenge for us is to find a tasteful way to introduce those kind of things and still keep a cohesive Upper Roach sound.
Have you already been kind of writing stuff, or is it just kind of like tinkering with a couple of notes here and there?
We haven't gotten together in a room yet, but each one of us is doing our own thing with recording on our computers or whatever. Just putting ideas down, and then we'll sort of sift through all those and then bring them all together, whatever we think is good to work on.
Can we see anything kind of crazy like your music video? I mean, that was definitely unexpected to see from you guys. How that all kind of come together?
Well, we worked with Jesse Davey, who's the guy he directed Hollywood Horror, and that was by a recommendation of our label, and we said, cool, we'll work with this guy. He seems really creative, and we did Hollywood Horror, shot that in one day, and it looked really cool, and we've been trying to work with them since then, but it just never worked out. So we finally got him to come back, and he did the video for Burn and for No Matter What, and we just knocked him out in two consecutive days, and we're bouncing ideas back and forth, and it was really fun. It was fun to be part of that creative process, and he's whoever's doing his editing, and he's a creative guy, and he just comes out with really cool stuff.
So could you see yourself doing something kind of along those lines down the road, or is that kind of a one and done deal? Or
we may work with him again, but it's obviously we're going to keep things different. We're not going to do the same kind of thing again. So.
And what about the notion of doing another live DVD?
That's a possibility. We just have to find the right place, and we probably want to do it somewhere like out of the country, to make it kind of interesting, maybe somewhere like the UK, or maybe even somewhere in South America, just because we haven't been there in like 10 years, so it might be something cool, like Beatles kind of energy kind of thing.
What's kind of like the overall feel? I mean, coming over here to the States, playing shows really all over the world. I mean, what do you see as the biggest unique difference, I guess, for your music carried over?
I think that, in Europe, in some of the places, fans are a bit more loyal. There's a lot going on in the States, so some fans tend to be more fickle. But the shows are pretty similar. It's really when you get to a big city where people are maybe a little more jaded, or they're just kind of like, all right, cool, they're not going off like crazy. But it's when we go somewhere for the first time, or somewhere we haven't been to in a long time, that's when the energy is just out of control. So.
And how does it feel knowing that you guys still attract such a core group of fans that even as you guys changed up styles, I mean, since the early 90s, I mean, you got people in middle school, now grown-up parents having their kids come out to shows. I mean, that's got to really feel kind of humbling.
Yeah, it's crazy. I did, you know, we sort of exceeded our expectations as far as that goes. You know, we never really thought about that when we were younger, and it's just cool, like, to see, you know, people growing up with us, but then also younger kids. I mean, not even kids of our original fans, like new kids, like, you know, to still have that youth energy at the show totally makes it. It's still fun. It's always fun.
And that's gotta kind of be a blessing in itself when you're playing live, knowing that you can go to the old school stuff, new stuff, and you still got that same type of atmosphere. I mean, you guys feed off of that.
Yeah, we feed off of it. We try to help create a little bit of that energy, but we definitely soak it up when it comes back.
And even with some of the bands I noticed you toured with, I mean, I'm not sure how long ago it was, but it was kind of a shock when you guys played in Sunrise, Bank of Lennox Center. You guys played with Guns N' Roses and Sebastian Bach, and you guys, I mean, you got old school styling, but you guys fit in so well with that. It seems every tour, no matter who you're touring with, you still got that vibe.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of it's kind of a blessing and a curse, you know. We can fit into a lot of places, but we take our show seriously as far as like getting out there and, you know, trying to get the crowd into the show. Sometimes bands won't take us on tour because they don't want to feel threatened, I guess. But, you know, any
so
show,
Axel and the crew wasn't threatened at all, right?
They weren't threatened, but you know, we just, you know, take every opportunity to make new fans that we can.
What's kind of like the next step for you? I know that everything's kind of tentative with going back into the studio, but where do you guys kind of want to see yourself down the road? Is there places you haven't toured yet that you're looking to scope out?
Yeah, you know, we haven't been to South America in 10 years. We'd like to go back there. We'd like to tour in Southeast Asia. We haven't done that yet. And we've only been to Australia and New Zealand once. And that was like 7 or 8 years ago. So it's crazy. Like, the more places that we go, the more places we want to go. And you don't really realize how big the world is until you get out and start going to all those places.
And what about beyond tour plans? Is there anybody like you guys would want to collaborate with, maybe?
Yeah, there's a bunch of people that we're talking about maybe working with, you know, maybe talking to Eminem, and maybe not even working with him, but like Yellow Wolf, or, you know, like Glitch Mob, or, you know, just anybody that's doing something that you can feel, you know what I mean, that's like really saying something and has good energy, and that's like something that we kind of keep for our music, so we want to, you know, inject that into a song or two or five.
A song or two or five?
Yeah.
And just kind of wrapping it up, for all the fans, what's some of the things down the road they should look forward to? I mean, beyond, you mentioned the album you guys are going to start writing for. Is there anything else, maybe your site, maybe you're releasing a couple more singles or anything? Yeah,
you know, we're talking about releasing a few things on our website for free sometime in the near future, you know, just to keep things out there. You know, Tobin's he's constantly making beats on his computer and doing that kind of stuff, and we may just throw a few things out just because they're just sitting on his computer, you know. And so, you know, that's something to look for. I think that we've made a good point to keep interacting with our fans, you know, whether it be on our website or Facebook or any of that kind of stuff. But we're going to do some more bigger things than just say what's up. You know, we're going to release some songs for free and
show up at house parties.
Show up at house parties, you know, bar mitzvahs and any kind of thing like that. But we'll probably do like video chats from the studio and that kind of stuff. So
awesome. Well, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thank you.